Well, hello there, guys. Welcome to another Let's Play here in Tank Warfare Tunisia in 1943. We're going to be playing as the British, and I thought this would be perfect since Dunkirk was just released in theaters. We're actually going to be playing with the British in a very different theater, of course, than where the movie takes place, and that's going to be on the North African front. Operation Pugilist will be the one we're actually doing today. We've got a lot of actual artillery support here, and we also have to keep in mind that this is going to be a night battle. So for those of you that are new to the channel, Team Tactics is a game we've played quite a lot. This is one of the many iterations of the game itself, and we're going to try and move some of these guys forward. Now, our actual goal in this battle is to actually attack the area and take it. We've got a lot of tanks over here, so I'm actually going to move them across the river if I can, across the ford, I should say. And we're going to be moving with these guys and a lot of infantry to try to take these strong points that the Germans have set up. It's not going to be an easy fight, but hell, we're going to fight until all of our men are dead or until we take that point. It's that simple. Move these guys up too. And of course, I'm going to be sending the infantry with my tanks if I'm able. I want to make sure I don't have any other tanks back here. It looks like we do, man. Got a lot of stuff back here. Move them forward, and let's get started, guys, on Operation Pugilist. So we'll be the ones attacking this time. I know in the North African campaign, usually we're the ones defending. This one is going to be a little bit different than that. So, of course, like most of my Let's Plays in this game, I will be back once we get started or once we actually get into some action. For now, we're just going to go ahead and confirm our movements. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What in the world just happened? There we go. So it looks like there's a sandstorm and it's dark out. You guys can see, you can barely see anything. I'm going to go ahead and start to give orders. So I want to move towards the strong points. I'm going to take these guys and move towards these strong points. I'm actually going to order a general attack. And I'm going to take these guys and do the same over here on the left. We're going to keep all of our artillery guns, everything else back here to defend and to open fire on these locations. But I'll try to get as many of our men as possible to head over there as well. We're not going to have as much tank support on the left, so we've got to keep that in mind. In fact, I might take 2 of these tanks, let's take these 3 actually, and move over here to assist. We'll go ahead and get started, and these guys will start moving, guys. The battle has begun. These guys are ready for a fight, of course, and we will probably be seeing some actual shooting. When you see the shooting, everything is going to light up on the screen. So we will be back, guys. First German attack is actually from an area we didn't even expect them. Another really fascinating thing that occurred here is, let me set this up first, because right now we need to make sure that our men are aiming in the right direction. But we've actually lost a few commanders due to mines. And it's one of the things that's different from any other WW2 game, really, where with the mines, you're actually able to get a lot of kills on the enemy. In this case, the enemy set a lot, and all of these little explosions you can see here, these basically let us know that our men have stepped on some mines. In fact, we already have a vehicle down over here. It's very hard to see in the dark, but again, this game strives for realism, so you're not really supposed to be able to see in the dark. That being said, we are approaching the strong point, and I'm already starting to see some enemy units here. Could be an enemy machine gun, could be something else. Of course, we're going to open fire on it. Could be some more enemy spotters over here. You can see those tracer rounds. Not many are being fired right now, but that's probably because we're not 100% sure where the enemy is. Now, of course, look at that. We're starting to see more and more enemy troops, and they're showing up as blips on the screen here. This is going to have to be dealt with. Open fire. That's what I like to see, baby. Increase fire. Increase fire. Massive amounts of tracer rounds going out over the enemy. And look at that. We've found some AT guns. Oh, man. We absolutely have to nuke this area. And by nuke, obviously, we don't have nukes yet. But at least open fire on this area with every single unit we've got. We'll take a look at the perspective from this tank, for instance. And we can kind of see what's ahead of us, just barely. There's a lot here, but I want to make sure that Tyler gets behind the enemy here and primarily takes out that anti-tank gun. That thing is going to be a pain in the ass for a long time. So Tyler's got to keep on firing here. We've got some shots coming near him. Come on. Boom! We got some artillery, too. That's definitely our artillery. And now this is a real battle, guys. Look at this. Now we can actually see what's going on. There are enemies everywhere right now. We've got to bring up some infantry here, because as much as I love these tanks, I don't think they can do the job alone. Nonetheless, it's fun to look at them, see what they're up to, and see if they can get any kills here. Of course, this is an enemy strong point, so I didn't expect to just waltz in here. But I think what I am going to do is take all this infantry that I initially used to attack the other area, and I'm turning them over here towards these two strong points to try and increase the amount of damage. Let's also take a look over there where the enemy was recently attacking us, and it looks like our men definitely fought them off. That's good news. Nonetheless, we want to grab a few more of our tanks, I should say, and go ahead and move forward, but not if, look at that, enemy is already attacking us on the left side as well. So this was an attack, and it's becoming a counterattack. I will move forward with all of my men over there on that strong point. See what's going on over here, guys, in the darkness. And for those of you that have not yet seen our Gravity Team Tactics battles or our Tank Warfare Tunisia battles, I'm going to leave a playlist down below, and we have so much more than this. Obviously, most of our battles are during the daytime, but occasionally I like to show people the night battles. It's almost like a fireworks show or a fireworks display. And look at that. We've definitely got some nice rounds coming in. The enemy is for sure terrified, but we can see they're in trenches just barely every time a tracer goes by. So they're definitely in decent positions here. And to break through them, we're going to need not just armor, but also infantry. Come on, boys. See if this guy's getting some shots too. Oh yeah, you can actually see the tracers coming straight from him. The enemy's just basically trying to hold this position. They're not really doing much to our tanks. In fact, I don't think we've lost a single tank, although we've lost 2 trucks because of the mines. Look at that! Wow! Some of our men are extremely close. One of them just had an explosion happen really close to him, but he's firing his Bren gun here. Man, that is impressive. Trying to get some kills here on the enemy, and I think he might have just gone down. Actually, we might just not be able to see him. Another mine explosion. In fact, there's several. One here. My goodness. And that mine took out our vehicle completely. You can actually see the poor gunner on the ground there on the back of it. It's going to happen, especially here in North Africa. The Germans have laid a lot of mines. They don't want us breaking through. Keep it up, boys. Got some more tanks back here I want to bring forward. Definitely enemy mortar fire and artillery fire dropping down on us, and I'm hoping we can offset it here just with the amount of tanks we have. Graves. So taking either of these strong points would be a pretty major victory for us. Kill them all, boys. And you can see it is going to be hard to get hits because the problem is they're entrenched. So even though these tracer rounds look incredibly effective, and they are, believe me. I mean, for every tracer round, we're firing about 5 regular rounds. So you can just imagine the amount of bullets that are being fired at this position. But we need to keep it consistent, and we need to make sure to overrun these guys with infantry as well. They're in those trenches. Unless we get in there with our infantry units, I don't think we're going to be able to break the iron will of the German defender. Let's take a look over here. What's going on? Alright, getting closer to another strong point. And a few enemies over here, of course. Looks like some of our guys are popping flares. Be able to see here in the dark. Pretty good idea. But we definitely have enemy incoming artillery. And this is just going to be a bloody, bloody fight. Grab these guys. And attack right into the strong point. Come on, boys. And we already have guys like Forster that are getting really close to the enemy. At some point, when our guys get close enough, they will start lobbing grenades over, but we've got to be right up there. And obviously, killing these officers would be, I think, Fisher's main mission. As you can imagine, enemy officers pose a serious threat. Killing them lowers enemy command power, etc. And you can see Fisher there firing just barely. We see every time he fires a little flash there that reveals him, but I hope he's getting close enough shots to the enemy command. Oh man, unbelievable amounts of artillery coming in. So now the Germans are trying to save themselves with some well-placed artillery. Don't think it's going to work too well against our tanks, but we'll have to see. Keep it up, boys, keep it up. And we're actually going to charge. Maybe not Gold, he can stay put. Move, boys. You can tell one really cool thing is when the battle actually starts, most of our tanks have their front lights on. As the battle begins, they turn off the front lights, which I think is great, you know, obviously to not be a target to the enemy, but they didn't do this in Graviteam Tactics minus front or Graviteam Tactics, so definitely something they overlooked because, of course, if you're going to engage the enemy, you're probably going to turn your lights off. And there we go, just saw a nice little explosion there. Ooh, it looks like there's like some sort of depot. So, holy crap, nice! Yeah, there's definitely a location here, and it looks like our guys are firing. We might even be some of our artillery going out there. I think it is. Unbelievable. Keep it up, boys. Operation Pugilist must not fail. For the king. Come on. At this point, we're just trying to overwhelm the area with a lot of shots here. If we can just keep on shooting, eventually we're going to hit every single one of them. It's unlikely we'll run out of ammo, so I'm just going to keep it up. Come on. Go, Coles. Now, you might have noticed that in most cases, it takes a while for a unit to start moving. This is just quite simply due to communication and leadership. Our comms in the beginning of the mission were pretty bad. So basically the way we set up our guys, we set them apart, too far apart from their commanders. And as such, it's taking them a little while longer to get those orders. But, for instance, he's already moving forward, Coles, but it takes just a little while longer, and it can be quite frustrating. And look at this, we've got a tank right there. He's right on top of the enemy. Let's take a look here at Tyler. Come on, Tyler, take the strong point. I'm going to back up a bit and see what's going on. And I think we should definitely try to overrun this area. At least take one of these strong points, and we'll send some of our men. Actually, most of our men are nicely entrenched, so I'm going to keep them here and just keep on firing. Nice little flare there to let us know what's going on. And of course, the Germans have a pretty... No, that's not a trench. I thought it was. But I can see now it's just a sort of darker piece of earth. So hell yeah, we're going to target these guys. Nice. We had a crew try to return to the mortar. Good job, Mackenzie. That's how you fight, lad. Our men are getting closer and closer to the enemy's first trench line. Of course, this has got to be a very delicate operation. You've got to move in with caution. You can see guys like Coles and Lynch. They're getting very close now, and this is where mistakes start to happen. So I absolutely want to take this area, but I don't want to force the take if I can help it. I want to just be an easy transition, which it never is, because we've got a lot of enemies that don't want us getting in here. Although I'm sure the enemy casualty count is going to be fairly high. I mean, I'm assuming, because of the amounts of bullets we've fired, it's going to be pretty high. I could be wrong. Keep it up, lads. Make sure we're not getting shot from anywhere else. Oh, boy! We got a nice big chunk of enemies right here. Make sure my guys are facing them. Doherty, you better watch your ass, son. There's definitely enemies here. Hit them, boys, hit them. You can't quite see if they're entrenched, but I would guess that they probably are. And we're going to have to wait for some sort of round or some sort of flare to let us know. Because for now, they're just going to be basic targets. Keep it up, boys. Alright, look at all that, guys. We are getting very close to this strong point. Our infantry are right there. I mean, you can actually spot these guys barely, because you can see the enemy has some barbed wire set up here. So this wasn't meant to be an easy place to get into by any means. But some of our guys are already making it through. I want to stop Forster, though. He's good where he is. This is an AT gun. I don't need him getting any closer. Come on, boys. Let's take a strong point. Charge! Still some very nice shots coming in from this area, and I'm actually going to send these tanks up here to take a look at what's going on, because there are definitely some enemies up there, and we've got just about everybody focused on this area. Wouldn't be a bad idea to keep them in check. If they're getting flanking shots on us, they're going to probably get some kills, so let's stop that. Nice! Look at this! Now, a lot of artillery popping around us, but we don't care. We're going to move forward. And so far as I can tell at least, they haven't done anything to our tanks. They haven't managed to kill a single one of our tanks. Even though they do have AT guns, I think we've outwitted them so far. Now, whether that's going to continue, I'm not sure. Let's take a look at this tank right on top of these guys. And actually, the tank is stuck. You can see Tyler stuck there. I'm going to try to reverse. Wow, there we go. We finally have a really nice view here of the enemy lines, guys. Just look at that. So unbelievable. The flare is kind of letting us see what's going on here, and it's going to allow our guys to fire a lot better there. And yeah, we've definitely got some artillery exploding near the enemy as well. So we're definitely hitting them with arty as well. Look at that. That was like right on top of them. And despite the fact that they're entrenched, that's got to hurt. I love the effect afterwards. You could just see the shrapnel flying every which way. So keep on moving to the strong point, boys. For the queen. Keep that damn flare up. Come on, boys. Take a look at the infantry over here. They're being pretty cautious, and obviously getting past the damn trenches here is going to be the real problem. And this is pretty cool. These guys almost look like commandos. I think these are actually tank crews, though. So we did lose one tank, probably to the mortars, believe it or not. I think that was probably the main cause. We still got guys like Brown that could actually still fire their machine guns. Got a nice little Bren gun on top. How you doing, lad? It's just not turning the right way. There we go. Keep up the fire, boys. Keep up the fire. Looks like we captured strong point. Beautiful. So we got our first strong point, guys, here on the left. Didn't even see that one. And we're going for the central ones now. And the enemy has retreated a lot of men back here. You can see they've moved back from the strong point. We're slamming them with artillery. This is how we want it. We need continued artillery strikes if we want to make it through. Getting closer and closer to strong point 1, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoy these kind of battles, and if you want to see more Tank Warfare Tunisia. Do you like the night battles, or do you prefer the battles during the day? Let me know down below. Oh boy, some of our guys are getting really close. Too close for comfort. But this is all part of the game. Lynch is moving up. If you take a look at the right, you can actually see some burning Germans. And there we go, Lynch throwing a grenade. Very cool. Is it going to hit that commander? I certainly hope so. Come on. Can barely see him because of the smoke. Oh, he's definitely taking cover there. It looks like the grenades missed. There's definitely more enemies here. Be careful, Lynch. Oh boy, they have definitely spotted him. Get in the trench. Oh, we can't even see what's going to happen here. It's a bit creepy. Get him, lad. That explosion had to at least wound the enemy. But Lynch definitely got in there. At this point, even with a ceasefire offering, I probably wouldn't accept it unless the enemy loses one of the strong points. I need them to lose a strong point. I know we took that one on the west, but we need to do more than that. We can do a lot better than that, I think. I'm also very curious to see the casualty count for this battle. I can't wait. Keep it up, boys. Got a nice little group over here. Just a tremendous amount of trenches. We'll take a look after the battle to actually see what the map looked like in terms of the position of the enemy, etc. They've got a machine gun over here it's really frustrating because it's firing at us. So I'm going to send a tank after that MG. I thought this tank would take care of it, but I think it's going to take them a while to get over there. And sure enough, we hit another mine. Let's take a look at this one. Yep, one of our trucks back here smashed into a mine. You can't see them in the dark. Hell, you can't see them during the day, so I'm not too surprised. Let's move to Bunker 2. Take it, boys. We're right on the strong point, but we need a few more men to claim it. Nice. You can see our artillery coming in. Our artillery's eventually going to break them. But it's going to take a while. It's not a 2-second thing. It's going to take a few minutes to really break them. But you can see that already absolutely exploding next to them. Some of it actually quite close to our own men. So we should be careful. But the important thing is that we take this location. After all the sacrifices our men have made here, tremendous amounts of vehicles damaged and crew hurt because of mines, enemy fire, obviously. We need to take this area. Get it, boys. Come on, bada. His responsibility is just going to be those guys. Definitely an enemy AT gun over here. I want to get rid of that. But at the same time, I want to move on the strong point. Let's try to get all these guys. Nice. Got some excellent shots. But we need to get even more. So we do have some reinforcements back here. Not really reinforcements. Sort of replacements that we have just in case. I'm not going to mess with them too much. And look over here on the west. Fighting has broken out again. Remember, we took this strong point, so the enemy might be trying to take it back. Also, they've got a nice group of men here, and I want to get rid of that. So let's make sure that we get rid of the guys right underneath us, or at least cause them to surrender. I'm thinking with this many men advancing, we've got to get these guys to give up, or they're toast. It's pretty simple. Strong point is ours, guys. We took one of them. Beautiful. This is on to number 2. And sure enough, area captured and area captured. This is awesome, guys. Ooh. There we go, another flare-up. Our men are starting to see the enemy here in the trenches. Lynch is actually fighting close combat with some of the enemy troops here. Look at that. Look at that. He knocked 2 of them down. I don't know if he killed them, though. I think he just knocked them out unconscious. Keep firing at the AT gun. Tank's got the right idea. Can't have AT guns shooting at us. And look at this. We've even got fire in the German trench. They're definitely not in the greatest position, and a few of them are on fire. You can see that is a hell of a casualty. Good shooting by my men, if I don't say so myself. And we want to get to that second strong point. We're pushing our luck for sure, but I think it's worth it. Come on, lads. Move Barton up a bit. Nice! That's the kind of artillery we need. Give me more of that. Oh, yes! And once again, you can see the German on fire there. For once, we get some revenge with the artillery. We're still moving some of our guys over here to the bunker. But at least a lot of our men here on the west are just targeting, obviously, sort of that small enclave of enemies that are causing us a problem. And actually, we've got a tank back here, a few tanks. I'm going to take some of these guys, and I'm going to start assaulting this area. I want to make sure that we knock them out everywhere. I'm really surprised the enemy has not asked for a ceasefire yet. Maybe they're just hoping that we don't continue forward on the strong point, or they're hoping that we're just going to keep hitting mines. Pretty good guess if that's what they're guessing. Come on, boys. See our boys right here. Not all of these guys are assault troops, but they're certainly acting like them. Boom! Few grenades. Those could be Sturmgranaten. So don't get excited. They could definitely be German grenades. Trying to see the top-down view, see if things look any clearer. But really, it's all about just getting to these points all over the map. I mean, we really have objectives we could take all over this place. Here we go. We're approaching that front line over here on the west. Get them, boys. They don't have nearly as much tank support here, but they've got a few flares to spot the enemy. Come on, lads. Those flares don't stay up for long. Just fire at the direction of those flashes. Still got that machine gun firing at us. I tried to get him with Tyler, but I think Tyler's hurt. Take this fellow. And actually, we've got another guy over here. Come on, man. Start getting some shots. Again, guys, as you can see, we spent a lot of time playing this match, so please do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, etc. It really helps us to do more of these. Another mine hit, but we managed to throw down some more artillery. Each time we throw that artillery down, even if we don't hit a target, we're scaring the hell out of the enemy. So I'm hoping that that is enough to win the battle, essentially. They've got so many men defending this area at the strong point, but I like to think that we have broken it more or less. We're still heading towards Bunker 2 over here. We don't know what we're going to find. And, of course, we still got some enemies to deal with over here. Charge, boys. Get Stone to move forward. Keep it up, keep it up. You can hear that machine gun rattling away, and we've actually got an infantry squad in front of us also firing. Obviously, with this darkness, it's a lot harder for our guys to see, but this many rounds going downhill, they're bound to hit something. Graham. Just lost a commander. It's going to be Forster. Getting through that barbed wire was not easy, and unfortunately he got hit by something as he was crossing. Doesn't look like a bullet, probably a mortar. But you can see now, at the same time, you know, we sent that huge group out, I'm sure you guys remember, and that group has dwindled. I mean, yeah, we've taken a lot of territory, which is great, but the group we sent out has definitely dwindled. We have absolutely had some losses here attacking this fortified trench line. So let's hope that we can overcome them. But yeah, man, that is serious stuff. Lord Hargraves, get some firing shots. Come on. Ooh, enemy AT guns. That is going to be our biggest threat. Alright, so we're already firing over there at the AT gun and the trench. I'm going to bring these guys up too, though. A few tanks back here that could use to, or could stand to move up a little bit. Alright, still trying to get to the bunker. Come on, give it to us now. Don't be sore losers. And actually, we could flank the enemy, although then I worry about actually some friendly fire. But we could technically flank the enemy like this. Start firing from back there as well. I think that would scare the hell out of them. They'd be like, well, now we're totally surrounded. You can just see all the burning bodies of the enemy troops. I mean, we have not been nice to the enemy here. And these are definitely high explosive rounds, or possibly flammable rounds. That they're causing a lot of enemies to go on fire. Just saw one of the commanders go down, and what's this? We took the bunker. Beautiful, guys. So the bunker's ours. Now, well, we could move to Xiba, which I think we will, because we're going to find that enemy AT gun along the way as well. Oh yeah, these are definitely enemy trenches. Fight on, lad, fight on. That probably is a tank shell, but those tank shells are pretty effective against the enemy. Just look at all the burning dead, man. This is definitely revenge for our first few battles in Tank Warfare Tunisia as the Brits, where we really got, I mean, we had some victories, but we lost nearly all of our men because the Germans are fierce on the main campaign in Tank Warfare Tunisia. But here, I think we may have gotten some serious revenge. Not to say we hadn't gotten revenge before, because we got some great victories, which is why you should take a look at the playlist. But not a bad job there. But the enemy still refuses to surrender. Interesting. What's that? Wait a minute, guys. Definitely want to keep charging. Alright, looks like one of our rifle companies actually gave up. Cowardly, lad. So we did have one unit surrender here to the enemy. I think it's just with all this movement. I mean, they've been pressing forward for so long. Of course they're going to get fatigued. They're going to lose that fighting spirit. I am asking a lot from these guys, but I expect that they follow my orders. There we go. Franklin's throwing some grenades over here. See if he can get the guys in this trench. This nice little pocket. Even killing a few of them would be a blessing. That's right, boys. Fire. Just because of that damn location, they're going to stay pretty safe. I think the one thing that's really helping us during this particular battle is the fact that we got that artillery support. Because in those trenches, it's so hard to get a kill. And you can see, look at this, our tank has finally gotten over here, and now he's facing a ton of enemy troops. Gibson here is facing a ton of enemy troops. Want to make sure he's facing the right way. That machine gun is definitely being used, but I don't think he expected so many defenders. Let's take a look over here. Send some more tanks in there. Got to give it to the Germans. They are brave. At this point, I would have absolutely retreated. They're continuing the fight. They do still have more than a few men in this pocket, but We're just surrounding them, cutting them down little by little. It's not going to be a pleasant fight for them no matter what they do, I think. Fisher, get them, lad. There's a nice grenade explosion that had to have hurt that guy. Nope, he's still standing strong. He's sort of wondering what's happening. Fisher's coming. Kill him, Fisher. Get him. Oh, I think Fisher went down instead. That's what happens when you don't have a commander. Things can get pretty ugly pretty quickly. I think they're trying to hold that second strong point. Just going to grab everybody I've got here and move forward. And look at this, guys. This battle on the west is just as bloody, although this one mainly just has infantry in it. I do believe we have a tank over here. Nope, we don't. We've got... Yes, we do. So we're going to move with this tank forward. Try to get some kills with it, obviously, but the enemy has just as strong a line here as they do on the other part of the map. You can see a little bit better here, but not really. The visibility is still poor, and if the enemy's got trenches, we are shit out of luck. We're going to be losing a lot of men. Let's try to get into those trenches. Come on, boys. Give them no quarter. Let's see if MacLeod going to be charging right in the front here. Get him, MacLeod. Alright guys, we moved forward just a little bit. There was so much going on there, and as you can see, the attack over here in the west is kind of not really broken down, but it's certainly lost its potency. We're still trying to hit that western front, but maybe we just don't have enough strength to be able to take out this western front when we've already put so much into the northern front there on the strong points. I'm still trying to get as many kills as I can, but obviously the closer we get with our men, we put their lives in danger too, especially since the enemy are entrenched. So hoping for that ceasefire, but the enemy refuses to ask for it. Another bit of good news is we've taken this location, which is really great, and now we've got to attack from the north here and just try to wipe out the rest of the enemies. I think we're going to go here. We saw an AT gun there before. Probably a good location to set up at, and actually I'll keep two of the guys, or maybe just one group, Beatty, right there just to defend. Got some enemies over there on the right side still, but I'm still moving for that last strong point. So we have taken it before, we lost it again. Probably an enemy counterattack, but man, they're not stopping. They're not giving up. Let's grab some more reinforcements here. Ooh, we got a nice flare on our location. Stewart's looking not great. One of the guys is outside of the tank. Or, not the tank, but the armored car. Come on, lads. Started off with so many men, and I think the casualty count for us is going to be just as nasty, just because the amount of defenses these guys have put up. The Germans, usually at this point, losing that many men, I mean, we absolutely demolished that first strong point. You know, they usually would go ahead and ask for a ceasefire, so this means this area is extremely important for them. One bit of good news is the fact that we hold most of the objectives in this area, but I want them all. I'm that greedy. I'm not running away for sure, and that's the next step. If we can't break through, we've got to run, and we're not running. So we have a few tanks over here that can still operate. We'll be moving them into that area. Actually, one of them is heading there now. Onward, Kennedy. Your tank's not going to move itself. There we go. Gotta watch out for friendly fire, and actually in this darkness, that's going to be hard to avoid. Ooh. That looked almost like incoming. I think it could have been incoming fire. During the day, it's obviously a lot easier to tell, but these night battles, one of the reasons we play them, and people do seem to like them, is, you know, this game's realism is its main achievement, really. And the night battles are just like real night battles. You can't see much unless there are bullets whizzing past. Maybe a flare will give you a few seconds. But for the most part, you know, you're kind of poking around in the dark, for lack of a better word, and that can be tough. And actually, some of our guys, despite being badly wounded, are approaching that enemy gun. I want that thing dead so badly, but it looks like these guys may have surrendered. Yes, I think so. Stone, you better be shooting at that gun, because Hargreaves was killed by that enemy gun. We can see him right there, getting right in front of the enemy AT gun and taking a nasty hit. I don't think anyone survived that one. Oh! He's become a little bomb as well, and that's another thing. Burning vehicles can become bombs that will just burn away, and eventually the gas tank's going to explode, and you can actually kill a few enemies with that, or, of course, your own men. Boom! Again, man. At least it's lighting up the battlefield a bit. Come on, Stone. There's a lot of fuel trapped in that tank. I think Stone might be stuck here. What's this? Nice! Another strong point for us, boys. Now we hold just about everything. It's almost just a mop-up operation now, but hell of a mop-up operation, considering what the enemy has. They've definitely managed to wreck some of our tanks. Let's send over a few more. Thompson and Sykes. At some point here, I think we'll be safe to go ahead and just turn east and attack fully. So we're going to commit there with a few of our men to just a full attack on the east. Take a look at the western part of the battle. Man, this is the battle that never ends. Let's make sure we haven't just gone crazy, but no, I don't think they've offered us any sort of ceasefire. And I would take it at this point. We've taken everything. You know, there would be no reason really for them to keep on fighting unless they just want to kill as many of us as possible. Get some revenge here for the men they've lost. Might have lost some men here. And yes, we captured captives. Wonderful, guys. So some of the enemy are now surrendering. Very good news. Starting to see the futility of the fight. It took them a long time, though. And one thing I've noticed is the Germans in Tank Warfare Tunisia 1943 take a lot longer to surrender than in most other Graviteam games. And this game is actually a mix of Graviteam tactics and strategy first. They're both working on this game, or both have worked on this game, so that kind of makes sense. A few things are going to change. I'm glad we finally got some men to surrender there. Oh, more captives? Yup, sure enough. And these guys are all the way back there, so to see enemies surrendering that far away, very good sign. Oh, we hit another mine. There's Ferguson. Actually, no, may have been one of our trucks here. Let's hope he's not too badly injured. Give up, you suicidal cunts. And actually, you can hear sort of the hyenas there in the background if you listen closely. So, battle is calming down. There's definitely not as many shots being fired. Mostly because look at all these infantry units, those grayed out ones. Those guys have either lost their commander and run, surrendered, or been killed. The enemy has got a stranglehold all over the map. We've managed to wipe them out in a lot of key positions, but they're still here. And they ain't going anywhere, it seems like. Come on. There's probably an AT gun over here, so I'm headed over this way with Kennedy. Oh, nasty shot there that had to come from the AT gun. Nearly hit us. We have a somewhat better chance of surviving with our frontal armor than we do with our side armor. But we do have basically a tank trapped behind the enemy lines here. Get them, boys. Unbelievable, guys. This has been a ferocious fight. And I hope you appreciate the time spent on a battle like this. I hope we get a decent amount of views because this was tough. Go ahead and make sure they're all aimed in that direction. There we go, lad. We've actually got some guys over here. Better check them out. The enemy's kind of flanking around us. They may be trying to take some locations. They certainly still have the ford and the strong point over here. But I'm not sure I want to send an entire group after them. But they also have the crossroads over here. And I'm going to attack. We've got a lot of anti-tank weaponry here. So actually, I might leave some of these guys back, like the guns. But the infantry have got to move forward. They've got to break somewhere. Come on, accept the ceasefire, you fools. I mean, they are really holding out, man. All right, McLaughlin is getting close. I think McLaughlin has a Bren on his vehicle here. Pretty sure he does. And there we go. The ceasefire has finally arrived. Man, that took forever. Of course, I'm going to accept the ceasefire. We have most of the locations. No skin off our backs, and our men need to rest badly. So let's go ahead, accept that. We'll definitely be taking a look at the field after the battle. I want to see what the hell happened here. Just see how many men we killed, how many men the enemy killed, and find out just how incredible this battle was. Still gunshots going off as well. Certainly hasn't ended. The hostilities continue. And it's a total victory, guys. This is the largest battle we've ever had. We killed 152, or on our side, we had 152 of our men killed, 150 wounded, 9 taken prisoner. The enemy also had 9 taken prisoner, but they had 125 killed, 167 wounded, and just heavily wounded, I should say. Unbelievable fight. Just unbelievable, guys. I've never seen one like that. We've got to take a look here. I've got to see what happened. So this was the defensive line we attacked. Just look at it, guys. I mean, this is practically the African D-Day. You can see all of those bodies, all of the little gray parts are bodies, whether either of our men or the enemy. That's a British guy right there. But we got Germans over here. Nope, another British soldier. A few Germans dead over here. A bunch of Germans dead over here. Just a nice group. Unfortunately, we lost some commanders. One of them down there, of course. This was practically a World War I charge. We did also take out some awesome gun crews there. Very proud of that. And we even managed to get some enemies back here. Of course, on that assault, we lost a tank. This was not an easy fight, and our men paid dearly for it. And actually, the killing blow on this tank was a weird one. One thing I love about this game, is it shows you the trajectory and sort of how the tank got destroyed. This tank was hit back here, and somehow it plowed into the engine. So it ricocheted off the track into the engine, which was just extreme luck on the enemy's part. But man, was that incredible, guys. Really incredible. We can see over here near the burned out building, this is where they had their sort of last final stand, and now our men are standing around this area in control of it. Hope you guys enjoyed that battle. It took a lot of time. I actually edited out some parts just because it was so damn long. So hope you guys will hit me with some likes, subscribe if you're new, and of course, have an awesome, awesome day. Another victory over Jerry. Take care, my friends.